The idea of a story set on its side had been in my notes for years. I think I'd gotten the idea from the memory of a reprint I'd once seen of a Little Nemo in Slumberland newspaper strip of the early 1900s by Winsor McCay, wherein Nemo and friends climbed through the rooms and hallways of a sideways palace. If one turns the page so the rooms look normal, then the pull of gravity appears abnormal. The comic strip scholars in the audience will surely know the Sunday pages to which I refer, and our editor has promised to include an example below for your edification. And this concludes another chapter of a book that I probably shouldn't be reading anywhere near a stream of this sort of game. And maybe we'll continue that someday. Welcome to another late night for a Blind Gamer stream. I hope that you are all having a good week. Mine's actually been decent. A little stressful sometimes, but today was actually really productive at work, which means having to do more work sometimes, but more of a payoff in the short term, hopefully in the long term. I probably shouldn't say anything specific. Who knows how far my NDA goes. Yeah. And then actually, yeah, surprising amount of things coming up in the future. But that's okay. It's nice to be streaming, at least for a little while. And for my internet to be behaving. It was even worse than usual earlier tonight, but it seems to have cleared up. If it continues giving me problems, I'll ask for more people's help in figuring it. Or just throw a lot of money at the problem. That solves most problems, I think. A lot being a very imprecise word. Thank you to everybody who came out to my last couple of streams. On Sunday, we finished the Blackwell Deception and got to look at the bonus features on the DVD-ROM. Didn't get to hear the bloopers though, because the game handles them differently than the previous ones in the series. Oh well. Still a great time. Good ending to the game. Good lead into the next game. And on Saturday, oh yeah, we read more of The Circular Staircase, the mystery from the 1900s. I was going to try and do a make-up short horror Saturday stream, but I got home reasonably late the last couple nights, and one can only handle so many late night streams. I wonder if I'll have time. I don't know. I also realized I forgot to announce tonight's stream on MySpace. But that's okay. I think there's a lot more engagement on Twitter these days. Don't know that I really have any other announcements. If I did, I forgot them. Let's start the game and see if I can get past that damned ion beam. Oh, well, there also was another thing I had thought of before and never got around to trying to help us catch the mouse. But yeah, the setup of Leather Goddesses of Phobos is, well, it's the 1930s and we are imprisoned by leather goddesses on Phobos, and they want to experiment on us and turn the Earth into their private pleasure palace, which isn't the most terrible thing I can conceive of. But we must stop them and save humanity and all that good stuff. So we've had to bounce around Mars and Venus and Cleveland and collect various items needed to defeat them in ways that will become clear eventually, or not. This game is pretty absurd. And yeah. Got intimate with a clone, got intimate with a frog, kissed a gorilla, transformed an angle into a human, stole a headlight, and that's just about all you need to know. Oh yeah, there were catacombs. We do not speak of the catacombs now that they are finished. I started typing when I wasn't focused on the DOS prompt. Some material in this story may not be suitable for children, especially the parts involving sex, which no one should know anything about until reaching the age of 18, 21 in certain states. This story is also unsuitable for censors, members of the moral majority, and anyone else who thinks that sex is dirty rather than fun. The attitudes expressed and language used in this story are representative only of the views of the author, and in no way represent the views of Infocom Incorporated or its employees, many of whom are children, censors, and members of the moral majority, but very few of whom, based on last year's Christmas party, think that sex is dirty. By now, all the folks who might be offended by leather goddesses of Phobos have whipped their disc out of their drive and, evidence in hand, are indignantly huffing towards their dealer, their lawyer, or their favorite repression-oriented politico. So, hit the return/enter key to begin. Wait, what was the... I meant to look up before stream. What was the name of the last save game? Fortunately, we don't have to remember. I can just... check out the files and see which one is the most recent. That's what it was. Yeah. Near pole. Hard to believe we've been playing this for 5 weeks or 5 streams now. Oops. Oh, okay, there we are. What's up, dock? This tiny dock is the maritime entrance to the once famous What's Up section of Mars. East of the dock is a wide north-south canal. You can hear a gurgling sound to the west. There's a chill in the air. You might be approaching the South Polar Cap. Trent is here, counting on his fingers and mumbling to himself. And the barge, handcrafted from Martian cedarwood, is moored at the end of the dock. Here's the problem. We have to get to the South Pole, but each time we try to, you run into this ion beam, which then ends up killing us. And oh, I think, did I try riding the raft instead of the barge down the river last time? I can't remember, but I'll give it a go. The raft is now bobbing in the canal. If you weren't holding it, it would surely be carried away. So we're in the raft, and we won't grab onto the dock. Oh, clouds of a sandstorm are visible on the horizon. A red warning buoy is anchored nearby. A sign atop the swaying buoy shows a skull and crossbones. You spy a metallic glint far ahead. You can't take a buoy. Where'd you get such a silly idea? Keep going. Metallic structure, glinting in the weak Martian sunlight, is visible at the edge of the canal. Same thing. Ah, here we are. I know. Just more of the sandstorm clouds. We're getting closer. A metal structure, glinting in the weak Martian sunlight, is visible at the edge of the canal, a bit too far to make out any details. A massive machine, unlike anything you've ever seen, rises from the shore, looming closer with each passing minute. The raft is now passing the metal structure that has been looming closer for the last hour. Its size and power are overwhelming, a relic of Martian technology at its height. Vacuum tubes the size of telephone booths produce power that was once beamed all over Mars. But now, in the twilight of the planet's civilization, the machine's base has rusted away. The massive tower now shoots its ion power beam uselessly across the canal, into the sand of the opposite bank. As the raft passes through the beam, you feel a tingling from every cell in your body. Yeah, so I assume that means we're going to die. Icy docks in the raft. This is the southern terminus of the canal. Far below this dock, teleportation machinery transports massive quantities of water back to the head of the canal in the equatorial region of Mars. It's quite chilly, and the dock is covered with a sheet of ice. To the south, as far as you can see, is the bleak whiteness of the southern ice cap. Now I need to have a worsening headache. You're holding it. What am I holding? Oh, maybe it means this machine that I'm holding. It's not reading after that. With a whoop of surprise, Trent loses his footing on the ice, skids right into the canal, and is immediately dragged under by the strong current produced by the underwater teleporters. You search frantically for any sign of him, but after several agonizingly long minutes you abandon all hope. As you gaze across Trent's watery grave, your eyes fill with tears. You hang your head in sorrow for a moment to honor your brave, loyal companion who gave his life that humanity might be safe from the terrible scourge of the leather goddesses of Phobos. Of course, without him, we can't actually destroy them. I don't think there's anything here that can neutralize the beam's effect. We kind of looked around the pole. This snowy plain is barren of all signs of life. Drifts block travel in all directions but north, south, and southeast. It's pretty cold, but nothing a tough guy like yourself can't stand. Solitary black circle is the only break in the vast expanse of whiteness, extending to the horizon, like a dark speck in a sea of white, or a huge piece of typing paper with but a single period typed upon it. This black circle seems to have been placed here entirely as an opportunity for some silly literary illusions, to avoid the danger of accidentally typing an L and having to read them again. Follow the faint trails to the north or east. Yeah. Right, that just takes us back to the dock. And the raft's not the solution. What's our inventory? Some of these things I don't think we're going to need again, but you already dropped some stuff. The blanket is too small. Your jailer must have meant it to be used as a pillow. Can't hide behind his Trent. Use Trent as shield. There. Lie down. Useless, unhelpful, non-productive-ish, ineffective-oid. Crouch down. Squat down? Crouch, squat, duck, sit. As you swim in the cool waters of the canal, a slimy tentacle touches you, convincing you that it's safer back in the royal barge. Wait. What if... I just had an idea. What if we had the strips of the sheet, which I think... Did we use it in Cleveland? Might have left it there. No, we have the... Okay, good. Tie rope to barge. It's not worth it. Believe me. The raft won't help us. It wouldn't help us to tie the raft to the barge. Look at barge. This large barge could host a host of royal guests. The barge rests immobile at the dockside, despite a strong current and no visible mooring lines. There are some simple controls on the side of the barge nearest the dock. I'm wondering if there's some item that we neglected to get that can defend us from the beam. Is it just some weird combination?
barge. Yeah. There was a tray which held chocolate back in our cell at the very start of the game. I wonder if that could be used to deflect the ion beam. Okay, how do we get off this dock? Okay. Stay in the black circle by the sand. Is that the one that takes us to Cleveland? It is. Don't think there's anything else useful here. Northeast and south. Yeah. Yeah. This lawn. Fence rings the lawn. Think again, humanoid. Trying to destroy the fence doesn't do anything. I thought maybe we could take a portion of it with us, but yeah. Trellis. It was established we couldn't climb on the trellis. Yeah. Just in case that proves to be useful in some way. Oh, okay, we're back in the hallway right by our cell. Take tray. Oh dear, we're carrying too much. Well, we're just out to experiment at this point. Oh, because the torch was in the basket. Take tray. I think the one on the teleporter on the roof is the one that takes us to Mars. Upstairs. Stand on the circle. Yeah. Is it west or east? Will take us back to the What's Up dock. Oops. Northwest. Yeah. Oops. Southeast, east. Yeah. This is where we dropped some stuff. Wait. It is empty. We used all the unangling cream. And the Martian dessert. Yes, they know there's nothing on the tray. Now, okay. Good, we're on our way. Hold up tray. A bigger waste of time than selling green cheese to the man in the moon. Can't hide behind it. Getting closer. Doesn't know the word beam. closer. Zooming closer. Use tray. Deflect beam with tray. No, in effect avoid. If I say place tray on barge, I'm afraid I'll just drop it. And tray to Trent. Nope. And we got zapped. Let's try. Slimy tentacles everywhere. I think if we could go around the beam. I mean, it's too late now. I mean, with the barge, we need to use the docks, but with the raft, maybe we don't. Put raft in water. Climb in raft. Paddle raft to shore. Swim to shore? No. What about banks? Swim to bank. Nah. Deep is the canal. Use rake on canal. Use rake on. Doesn't know the word bank and doesn't know the word shore. Sail to. of the things we come across are rocks, right? I know, just the banks and then the clouds sometimes. Eggs and graftlands in the water with unpleasant things. There's some significance to when we see the clouds, the sandstorm. I can't think what it might be. Here we are. Oh, right, the small canal. It's flowing into this one. Leave it alone. Swim to a smaller canal. Won't even let me look at it. Wait. Yeah. Now we could make a grappling hook of sorts. Doesn't recognize using the rake. Oops. They already had typed tie. Can't reach the metal structure from the raft. So do we have to be in the barge? And we got zapped. Did we ever figure out if the purple button? I don't think it lets us go backwards. I thought it did at one point. Need a purple button. Makes it sound like it would be just going faster if we pushed it. I just don't want to. Ah, there it is. Grab machine. You can't reach the metal structure from the barge. Grab structure with rake. A wooden rake is no help getting the metal structure. Grab structure with rope. I say getting the metal structure, not getting to the metal structure, but okay. Wonder if there was some way to counteract the beam and I just wasn't looking hard enough on the South Pole. Here. There's a barge. Trent dies. South. East. And that just takes us to the Penguin Park. Even on Mars, one could hardly expect a polar visit without seeing penguins. Well, here they are, a whole waddling mass of them, a pack so dense they completely block the path to the southeast. Other paths lead west and northwest. One penguin teasingly waves a sign in your direction, much as a matador waving a cape toward a bull. North. Alright, that's the same place where we started. East. Give coin to penguin. The penguin, satisfied by your donation to the PRF, part ranks in front of you. The going rate for donations to the fund must be 9 Mars mids, since one of the penguins hands you a 1 Mars mid coin. We're going to die very soon. Oops. Gypsy camp. Hey, Great White Knoll. I know there's no pictures in a text adventure. Just like there's no text in a graphical adventure. Wait, no. How are you doing tonight, Great White Knoll? We're at the camp. 0 out of 10. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better, Noel. What's going on? Anything in particular? Oh. I'm doing okay, thanks. Having a pretty decent week so far, surprisingly. Still stumped by this game. You're standing near the front stoop of a very large igloo. Its door is flanked by a faded sign and a barred window. Paths lead north, north, and north? Martian Orphanages Incorporated. Gotcha. Yeah, I figured based on your later response that it was the 0 out of 10 was a joke. Or it could be a typo for 10 out of 10. Doesn't have a door. Yes. Knock on door. A matronly woman of massive proportions and rather cubical aspect appears. "Got you, you baby-stealing gypsy!" she cries, in a voice that, in a more mountainous region, could probably initiate an avalanche. "Begone!" She drives you away with blows that would fell an elephant. Can we give her the infant? Yeah. I mean, we're gonna die. I wonder if we can look inside the igloo. You now have a fantastically, unbelievable, ultra awesome migraine headache. You see a pair of cotton balls sitting in an entrance foyer. We need cotton balls. Yeah, it's barred. It's barred and it's barred, ain't it? Barred, great God. Yep, it is. Yeah. Yes, I suppose we would need fire to light the torch. Yeah. Have any particular direction? Circle igloo. Circle igloo clockwise. Walk to back of igloo. Well, you have to open the igloo door first. Your anatomy, in absorbing a dose of superionized energy in translethal levels, has ultimately equalized this submolecular environmenta. environmental imbalance by fulminating a cataclysmic exothermic reaction, or, to put it in lay terms, you just blew up. The orphanage is a dead end. Unless, I mean, there's something else in there. Is it possible the matronly woman would give us something to neutralize the ion beam if we give her the orphaned baby? Let's give it a go. Press orange button. A lot of waiting. Smaller canal. Every time I see it, I think, is there some way we can make use of that? Oops. Back to the South Pole. Trans dies. Oops. Give coin to penguins. Hey, dragon. Welcome in. Oh, thank you for the lurk. We're still trying to figure out this tough puzzle. Oops. You guys, please go check out Dragon of the West, who streams a bunch of more recent games and has currently been playing through Cuphead. And the DLC. Should I? Oh no, that's right. Somebody asked me to make it smaller last stream. Like, should I make it bigger? Southeast. Yeah. Alright, we might as well read this. This is the campsite of a family of nomadic robot gypsies. A ragged tent is pitched on the north side of the camp, and trails lead south, northwest and south. A male and female robot emerge from the tent, waving in a gesture of gypsyish greeting. Hello, weary traveler. We are but poor gypsies, but we invite you to spend the night in our humble tent and share our simple but delicious oil and silicone stew. Suddenly, in an event so shocking that even a hardened space opera hero like yourself is stunned beyond belief, a meteorite shrieks through the atmosphere and completely obliterates the two robots. You hear the sound of high-pitched crying, slightly muffled, coming from inside the tent. This tattered tent, home to the deceased robots, provides meager protection against the cold polar winds. You can exit to the south. A little baby robot is shivering in the corner. It stops crying long enough to open a tiny metal eyelid and look at you. "Mommy," it says in a quavering, high-pitched metallic voice. The baby continues to wail at the top of its lungs. The baby stops crying and, in the comfy warmth of the blanket, slips into a calm sleep. A peaceful smile creeps over its face. You now have a splitting headache. South. Put baby on doorstep. I didn't pick the baby up, did I? Take baby. Exit tent. South. Put baby on doorstep. As you place the baby on the cold doorstep, it begins crying twice as loudly as before. The baby's crying alerts someone within the igloo. A matronly woman of massive proportions and rather cubical aspect appears. "Caught you, you baby-abandoning gypsy!" she cries, in a voice that, in a more mountainous region, could probably initiate an avalanche. "Begone!" She thrusts the babe into your arms and drives you away with blows that would fell an elephant. Well, geez. First she's afraid we'll steal babies, and then she's upset that we're abandoning babies. It's an orphanage. You want orphans? I got an orphan. Work with me here, lady. Doorstep's too cold, even through the blanket. What if we try to just give her the baby? Yeah. Knock on door. Okay. Nah, she'll still say, "Don't abandon babies." Restore. Hello, Sprocket. Welcome in. How are you today? So once again, we've been blown to bits. Oh, awesome. Glad to hear it. If she isn't able to help us, keep us from exploding, I'm guessing we do have to get some other item to get us through the ion beam. I don't, Sprocket. This is actually the first one I really I'm trying to do an entire playthrough of. And I've been enjoying it overall, but there are some parts it takes me a long time to figure out. Do you play a lot of text adventures? She's not going to give me anything if she doesn't want me to leave the baby there, period. Oh, the audio cut out? Oh. Oh, okay. Thanks. Oh, you did? That's cool. It's an interesting genre. And I don't know, after this I might try others. There have been a couple I've been meaning to play. Oh, you played text adventures on the TRS-80? I've never actually used a TRS-80. I've just read about it on retro game sites and stuff. Are there any especially good ones? If we we got that canvas sack we never used. What if put the baby in that? Oh, Bedlam and Raka too. I haven't heard of either one of those. Well, I really love the video game Bedlam, but I think that's a different Bedlam. Okay, it does. That would make sense, like the historical Bedlam. It's funny, there are several video games named Bedlam, but that might be the only one that actually takes place in an asylum. I wonder, were those, was it TRS-80 exclusives? I don't know. Let's try putting the baby in the... Because even if she comes out and accepts the baby, why would she? Well, maybe if she falls in love with it, she would be, cool with us and then give us something to not die. Wait. A lot of waiting. Got zapped. TRS-80 and TRS-80 color. Oh, okay. So is the standard TRS-80 just a black and white computer? Receive change. Robots die. Pick up baby. Exit tent. But did you find these text adventures to be pretty tough, Sprocket? Or the ones that you played? Put baby in sack. I didn't know the sack was closed. Okay. Wow. 64 by 16 characters and 128 by 48 pixels for the graphics mode. That's so small. I didn't really get into computers until like the 90s when my family initially had a really out-of-date DOS computer and then finally got Windows 95 in 97. And by then, resolutions were a little bigger. Oh, I bet some of them have such crazy logic. Like, there was at least one point in this game that it was basically by luck and the game misunderstanding what I was typing that I was able to not get killed by a sneezing Sultan. This game is weird. Opening the canvas sack reveals a whole bunch of leaves. Wait, okay, great. We left the baby, now what do we do? Cotton balls, which we need, are in the foyer. Well, then, once again, she gives us back the baby. That. Oh. Interesting. She took the baby out of the sack, gave it back to me, and then sent me on my way. Oh, in Bedlam. There's one puzzle you had to do something that didn't appear in any of the earlier parts. So these games just hope that you'll guess the right thing. Or like figure it out through sheer trial and error. But you eventually figured it out, huh, Sprocket? What was it the game required you to do? Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, the more I think it's unlikely that this woman is going to let help us. So, is it possible to pass through the beam twice? Like, would a second blast neutralize the first one? Because if we... Can we tie the raft to the barge? Put a pill in meat and then feed it to a guard dog to knock it out. That's a pretty clever puzzle. Now, you've tied the raft in the third quarter with 40 seconds on the clock. The score is raft 17, player 17. But seriously, folks, you cannot tie the raft. Attach raft to barge. I didn't say tie, I said attach. Game making presumptions. Oh, the previous actions in Bedlam were really simple, and then something a lot more complex. Like, yeah, with a couple of stages. Okay, so is Bedlam set in the present day? Or, well, the present day when it was made. What if you time it? I play a mixture of like action and adventure games. Like and some shooters and some platformers and quite a few point and click adventures. Like right now I'm playing the Blackwell series on Sundays, and before Leather Goddesses of Phobos I was playing Doom. Figure I'll switch to, or I want to play the entire Doom series, so figure I'll start Doom 2 after I finish this. Okay, so it was set during the 1980s. Got it. But yeah, I play a mixture of different things. But yeah, most of them are either action or adventure. Occasionally I'll try new things, like try to RTS once. Yeah. There are so many good games in so many different genres that I want to play. And old ones that I've played before and want to share with people and replay. Yeah, I'm partially sighted. So it's in a lot of ways easier for me to see the retro games with more basic graphics, but like also I'll make them full screen or zoom in. Like in point and click adventures, I'll usually zoom in. I have magnification software, so I'll zoom in on different parts of the screen to read it. That's what I'm doing with the text adventure now. I can't trust timing it to get the raft and the barge to the beam at the same time, can I? Well, let's try it. Okay. We're moving. Okay. So that's good. We can keep holding onto the raft while riding in the barge. I think I was envisioning this barge as a lot taller than it is. Yeah. What types of games do you usually play, Sprocket? Wait. Such a long journey down the canal. I wonder if there's some complex thing you have to do while you're traveling, but I can't think what. Little too far. Okay. Enter raft. As you and Trent board the raft, it begins drifting away from the barge. The barge, under power, forges ahead and disappears from sight. But I mean, logically, I don't think it would be possible to jump from the barge to the raft in such a way that you get zapped by the beam twice, but this game isn't always logical in the traditional sense. Oh, yeah. You know, I haven't played many stealth games, but I agree Deus Ex was amazing. I actually did a full playthrough of that for the first time a couple years ago. I was like, oh. I'd played the demo when I got it on a PC Gamer magazine disc back when it came out. I'm like, oh, now that I'm playing the full game, it really is just as good as I thought it was from the demo. I haven't played many open world games. I think I tend to get too... I try to kind of want to do everything and then it takes too long. I remember I played Far Cry 2 for a while. I was kind of falling into that trap of, no, must complete every mission, find every tape. Oh. I mean, okay, we made it to the pole, but what good does it do? And the smaller canal rejoins the big canal for the ion beam crosses the canal. We couldn't use an exit because if we bought one from that guy in the abandoned mall, because we need the smaller coin to get the exit. We have to get to the South Pole to get the coin.
A Twitch viewer. Twitch viewer.
Oh, hey, Sprocket. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the community. I promise it's usually more exciting here than me trying to puzzle out. I feel like sometimes with this, it's just me talking and trying to work my way through convoluted trains of thought. Yeah. What if we tried I mean, I don't think it'll help, but we could try taking the raft from a further dock. Maybe there's some way I overlooked to cross the land and go around the beam. Which would be an awfully long trek. Right. No, wait. If we keep going west, I think that'll take us to the Hickory Dickory dock. Ah yes, Martian dessert. Not a typo. Dessert refers to the 50-foot Martian cream pie here. A mirage, of course. People hopelessly lost in the desert often see strange mirages such as cream pies, lakes, or trails to the northwest and southeast. I keep forgetting I could just type like 2 letters and it'll take me in that direction. Northwest Hickory and Dickory dock. Enter raft. Oh yeah, that mouse. I was going to try and see if we could use the cat picture to catch the mouse. Maybe set up a trap and scare him into the basket, or maybe we're going to need an empty jar, which I left in the desert. More steep and sandy shores. The smaller canal flows into this one. But both times we've seen the smaller canals, it flows into the main one. Where are they coming from? The reddish sand dunes and more dark clouds. Grab dock. You lunge for the dock and secure a handhold. An agile climber, an agile clamber places you and Trent on the dock. To keep it from floating away, you pull the raft out of the water. Around the dunes again. From this vantage, you can see the canal curving south, a bit downstream from here. Just after this bend, 2 docks flank the canal, an opulent dock on the east bank and a dilapidated one on the closest shore. You could slide down the dune to the north or to the east. As with all Martian civilizations, this once fashionable shopping center has fallen upon hard times. The only store to have endured the 15 millennia recession lies to the south. The canal is still as visible as it was when scheming marketeers misnamed the mall generations ago. In other words, not at all. A path leads east, and a dune to the west seems mountable. Point in going into the shop. This dock is in remarkably good shape, considering that it hasn't been painted in 15,000 years. A wide canal flowing south lies to the east, and an opening between the dunes leads west. Oh, I took the raft out of the water, but I didn't automatically pick it up. Now we can put the raft in the water, since we have the raft. Yeah. And I grab the one dog. I guess if we'd floated down the river, that'll just take us back to the Sultans, won't it? Enter raft. I'm pretty sure I tried to take all the paths we could. Around the bend. Yeah. That's I think that's the abandoned dock. Yeah. It's the third time a smaller canal has joined this one. Wait, did we? Just got off the abandoned dock and we didn't pass another one, did we? Yeah. Okay, here. Back to the what's up dock. Oops. A sign on the buoy has no writing, only the skull and crossbones. I mean, I'm guessing it's just telling you, if you float down the canal this way, you will die. So I'm running through different locations in my head, trying to think if there was anything I left behind. Yeah, exactly. Death! And lots of death. Many ways to die in these games. I guess let's. Have we tried talking to King Mitre? He may be sullen again since he turned his daughter into an angle yet again. Trent usually isn't actually much use when we ask him about things. He does not know about the ion beam. It's no good to try and ask Mitre about it. Besides, how would we know about it if we hadn't already sailed through it and died? Alright, that one takes us to Cleveland. Go down to where we found that Ford headlight. Climb down the rope. The rope rips under your weight. After plummeting to the pavement, ambulances rush up to take you to the finest hospitals in Cleveland. If only the ambulances had all picked the same hospital, there might have been a chance to put you back together. You have died. Can't use that rope again. Yeah, the game is trolling me. Just since we went this way before. Do you remember why we survived? Oh yeah, that was one of the times that Trent died. Or appeared to die and then came back with a fishy explanation. Store. Oops. Stand on circle. Northeast. Look out window. The ford pillaged. So where did I... Pardon me a moment, I just heard my phone ding, and I'm really hoping it's not work. This ungodly hour. Nothing important. If my boss were texting me at this hour, I would, well, what would I do? Pretend not to have seen it till morning, unless it was an emergency. East. Stand on circle. We're back in the prison. There. We first were. I wasn't able to figure out how to use the tray to deflect the beam. There's nothing in Trent's cell, right? I feel like I was taking everything that wasn't nailed down. That's what I usually do. Very tiny room, rock hard floor, and a door. Something possibly this very sentence tells you that it would be dangerous to travel east or west. Basement. There wasn't a circle? Oh, maybe one of them just returns you to the basement. Yeah, there was. Wasn't a circle there? Sure, there was one. We got back here from the minaret. Yeah, it's a downside to only playing the game once a week. I forget where things are. don't think we'll need the torch anymore. If we do, hopefully we'll be able to come back and get it. Okay, there's the torch and the tray. This one that takes us to Venus. Right. Right. In the jungle. Hot, steamy, primitive rainforest. Judging by the overpowering heat, the excessive humidity, and the odd flora, you must be in the death-clogged jungles of Venus. Death-clogged. Spawning ground of the slime beasts. That's the circle that takes us back to the basement, I believe. Yes. Fork splitting around the hole in the ground. We were here before. That's right, you can climb in the hole, but I don't think there's anything here. Climb on Trent. Thanks, Sprocket. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know it's getting late, but I'm sure we'll figure out something eventually. And I hope you have a good night. Did I forget the right direction again? Right. The anti-oasis. Yeah, that takes us back to the scientist's house. Plasticoid home, right? did figure out where that mad scientist ran off to. It'd be pretty dangerous if we ran into him again. Once we get hit with the beam, is there time to make it back here? If we go directly? I don't know. Back to the cliff top. Yeah, the Visicom booth, that's where we got the coin. Open door. The whole place is locked up tight. East. You'd think if you entered it by going west, you could exit by going east. Oops. Just go around, try all the directions. Northwest takes you to the back door. Oops. West. That's where the fork is. South. Back to the clearing. No, there's nowhere else. We haven't been. God, how do we get? I'm trying to remember how we get back to the Sultan's palace. if it's possible I missed something there. Wait. Oh, that's the one that takes us to that Sultan. Oh no. That's sorry. This is the one back by King Mitre. His royal docks and his royal ducks. With their royal duck STDs. If we get in the canal here. No. You can't just talk, you have to talk about something. Ask Mitre about canal. He's unhappy again. It looks like every other pile of angles you've ever seen. How many have you seen? Enough to know what a pile of angles looks like. I think this might be the way to get back to the Sultan's docks. I can't remember what they call it. Smaller canal. Shoot. Oh. Wasn't paying attention, I just realized I missed a dock. Which one? Wait. Having trouble keeping track of the geography and the layout of all the docks. But if we get back in at the Donald dock, we'll only be allowed to access the abandoned dock, right? Ew. Didn't put it in the water. There's a very specific order we have to do things in. Put raft in water. Enter raft. Grab dock. Yeah, see, that's the abandoned dock. Let's travel overland back to Mitres Castle and I'll be more careful. Maybe the first dock you can grab onto is where we found the dead warrior. Yeah. Path in. Wait. I must be getting tired. I'm getting my directions mixed up. North, maybe? Ruin, that's promising. Okay, back to the Royal Docks. Banks of the canal, banks of the canal, banks of the canal. canal, enters. Grab dog. Baby dog. This is a tiny dock, partly buried by drifting sand, extended south into the canal. A break in the sand forms a trail to the north. Right. You're in a tiny basin protected by dunes from the fierce Martian winds. The dunes are impassable except to the south. A strange alien, probably a member of one of the ancient warrior races of Mars, lies dead at the base of the dune. Yeah. Can we haul his corpse along with us? The game is like, nah, we can't allow that. Take raft, put raft in water, enter raft. That was. The other dock was right across the way from here, wasn't it? Right, the opulent dock on the east bank. But how? How can we get back to the east bank? Assuming. I don't really know that's where we need to go. I mean, we may be entirely done with that. I'm just... I can't think where else we need to go or what else we're supposed to do. Didn't use that rabbit for anything. I've had it for a long time. Not that I think the rabbit's going to help us evade the ion beam. Directions. Here. And now east. Exit shop. The store is in good shape, only relative to the other shops in the mall. For example, the last time it was vacuumed, humans were just inventing writing. The dust nearly covers the proprietor, who sits forlornly in the corner beneath a faded sign. An exit is barely visible through the dust to the north. Exits bought and sold. Bought, huh? Yeah, the game's like, what a concept! Taking an exit? Yeah, well, we're in a store that sells exits. What on earth gave me the idea? I don't know, should I go back to the South Pole again? No, there was... There's a teleporter in one of the ruins. But I kind of think that might have just taken me back to my cell. dust, revel, and stone block. There it is. Wind whistles among the fallen archways, crumbled balustrades, and black circle. And that's the one that takes us back to the basement. Where does the spawning grounds take us? Oops. Stand on the circle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is different. You're in the cargo hold of a giant spaceship. A tiny viewport is set into the curving steel hull, and arched passageways lead in directions that we will arbitrarily call south and southwest. One item in the hold is a sword, a potent weapon with a long, hard blade of glistening steel. A few seconds later, you see Trent's earlobe appear, followed almost immediately by the rest of him. A radium-powered grenade clatters against the deck. You glimpse a shadowy figure dressed in black slipping away. Trent yells to hit the deck and hurls himself onto the grenade. A sickening explosion splatters Trent all around the room. As you struggle to control your shock and nausea, your eyes fill with tears. You hang your head in sorrow for a moment to honor your brave, loyal companion who gave his life that humanity might be safe from the terrible scourge of the leather goddesses of Phobos. That happens to this guy a lot. Oh, no gravity. Take sword. What else can I put in the basket? Oh. In the absence of gravity, the unreliable torch floats back into your hands. Stable. This must be the flagship for the leather goddesses of Phobos. Main attack fleet. Since this stable contains the leather goddesses of Phobos' main attack fleet cavalry mounts, the most striking horse is a magnificent white stallion. There are exits to the north and west. And now we're riding a horse. Kicking your proud mount forcefully in the flank, you gallop down a long corridor pulsing with light. Above the echoes of the hoofbeats, you can hear, almost feel, the throbbing of mighty engines. After a minute of wild riding, at main hatch on the stallion. To the north, the main hatch of the flagship is closed. A long corridor leads east. Hanging by the hatch is a white form-fitting thermosuit. A rumbling from outside the ship sends shivers running through the deck. Okay, let's not open the main hatch, shall we? You are partway along an east-west hall of mind-numbing length. Rings of light pulsate along the corridor in rhythm with the ship's throbbing engines. Openings lead east and northeast. Wait. Oh, you can keep going. Okay. It's a black circle in a tiny alcove. And now take us back to the hold. Okay. Oh, you can go further down the hall. Truly is mind-numbing length. Wait, how do we end up back in the main hatch? You know what? I don't have to understand this ship's layout. Wait. Could the thermosuit save us from the beam? Can't drop anything here. Put rake in basket. Take suit. Put on suit. Yeah. I'm taking the long way, aren't I? And that takes us back to the... Wait, what? Geronimo! Yow! You appear in mid-air, high above a canal-studded desertscape. The ground is approaching uncomfortably fast. Caw! Caw! A pterodactyl snatches you in mid-air and deposits you safely in. Now this is my kind of dock. Pterodactyl sounds suspiciously like the annoying crow, who we see reviewing games on Steam. Wonder if Annoying Crow ever reviewed Leather Goddesses of Phobos. No, this is good, except... Oh, wait, we don't have the barge, but we don't need the barge, do we? I hope we don't need a helmet, too. Right. Coin, cloth, headlight, sack, blanket, lip balm, clothespin, rule book, loincloth. Wait. Rake, torch, angle, matchbook, map, phone book, rabbit, blender, hose. What about the thermosuit? Am I crazy? Did I not? I picked up the suit and put it on, right? Evidently I missed something. That's okay. Southwest. And now east. Enter closet. Okay, now we're in the spaceship. And Dred gets violently splattered by a grenade. No chasing. Wonder. Can you ride the horse out of here? Maybe you can't take it into the hallway at all. Look at suit. It looks like every other white suit you've ever seen. Okay, we've got the suit. Did we lose it when the pterodactyl grabbed us? Here we are. Stand on circle. The ground is approaching uncomfortably fast. The pterodactyl snatches you in midair and deposits you safely in. Now this is my kind of dock. Now we lose the suit. Does it burn up or does the pterodactyl tear it? Because I really thought the suit might help us get past that. What's it called? The ion beam. I don't know. Maybe we should look around here. I don't know, where should I? I might just straight up die if I try to leave the ship when I'm not wearing the suit. And I guess you can only leave the ship once. Hang on, let me try to get out of the suit, out of the ship with the suit in tow. Yeah. At least I'm memorizing the route. Oops. I say that and then forget to go into the closet. Actually, great. Take sword. Gee, what else can we put in the basket? Take suit. Yeah. I actually typed Weast. Okay, so the horse is like fast transit from the stables to the main hatch. I have a feeling we're going to have to use that perhaps when we blow up the ship. Shoot, are we going to need to use the suit then, though? Got the suit. And on circle. Plummet towards the ground. Pterodactyl takes us to the oasis. Why? Whatever. We have maybe we lost the suit. Why? I did take it, didn't I? Am I that tired? Maybe she can scroll back up. No, it looks like the game won't let you take the suit. So that's not the right way. Or they'll let you keep the suit. And that was the way to get to the dock. Curious, what if we go back to the ship now? Make sure we don't have it. from the hold. Oops. The suit is back. Did I not take it? Okay. Oops. Inventory. Stand on circle. Inventory. Now, I really should have saved in the ship. For whatever reason. Does the suit regenerate then? I hope so. Alright, it must, because I just went back to the ship. So maybe that's the only way to get back to the Sultan's dock. It's to exit the ship wearing the suit. I think we should go look around there. God. I feel confident we won't have to go back into the catacombs because we searched those really thoroughly. I'm glad I did that. I'm going in circles. This time I'm saving on the ship. Suit. Save. Flagship. And if I don't remember that, well, then I can just look in the folder and see what my save games are called. Going so fast, I didn't actually pick up the suit, did I? Because my hands were full again. Put I am wearing the suit. If my brain is fried, clearly. But I don't know. I feel like I made not that much progress tonight. I want to see if I can figure out the puzzle of the beam. Wait. Wait, why did it take me back to the oasis? Because earlier it took me to the Sultan's dock when I was wearing the suit, right? God. I'm kind of tempted to look at a hint book just so I can remember how to get back there. No, it's definitely wearing it. So I just I haven't looked at my inventory with a thought of anything else that the tea remover could affect. Well, other than the rabbit, which when you turn the rabbit into a rabbi, he just says a blessing and runs off, right? Well, since we just saved. Alright. Maybe that's how you're actually supposed to use the rabbit at some point. Oh. Pocket a feep. Right. A bearded rabbi wearing a prayer shawl leaps out of the machine, recites a Torah blessing, and dashes off in search of a minyan. What is a minyan? I should look that up. I mean, I should probably know it, but perhaps that's a hint. Anyway, it says a quorum of 10 men, or in some synagogues, men and women, over the age of 13, required for traditional Jewish public worship. I mean, it sounds like it's just a joke then, not a hint. just try this. I think the suit is what changed where I went. No, another ruin. I had the suit with me. It was. You can't drop it, right? You know, maybe it's random, one of several locations. I wish the game would say something about, oh, the suit returned to the ship. I guess it's, yeah. Has an automatic retrieval system installed, as the best thermosuits on Mars do. That's my pterodactyl noise from Joust. If I owned a pier on a major Martian canal, I'd want it to look just like this one. Handsome, well proportioned, and amply endowed with jade and ivory. I could probably live without the alabaster stair which leads up at the end of the dock to the east. Okay, this is the hub. We never tried getting in the pool, did we? Okay. I should probably save. This is no time for swimming. These twisted trees and elegant footbridges are even more beautiful than the gardens of the most lavish Fu Manchu films. Paths from the north, southeast, and west meet at a large well of hand-carved stone in the center of the garden, which of course leads down to the catacombs. Base of tower. It takes us back. Right? A slender tower protrudes magnificently above the palace grounds. A stair winds up into the tower, and an oriental garden spreads out to the northwest. By standing erect at the parapet of the mighty tower, you command an exciting view. Below, gardens and courtyards intermingle with the palace buildings, forming a fertile oasis in the Martian desert. Off to the west, docks straddle a deep canal. On the far shore, sand dunes lap at crumbling buildings. On the top step of a winding stair is a black circle. Sultan is here, arguing loudly with one of his legal advisors. Let's not bother him. Snow white fur of the Martian velvet worm, platinum arches. Northwest and west. What's the north? This is the sensuous location of silks and satins and furs. A draped exit leads east. There's also the exit to the catacombs. Oops. Gonna take every possible direction. There's gotta be something I've missed. We went east and that took us to the gardens. There. North's a dead end. Oh, right. Back to the dock. The laundry room. With all its braziers. Dirty laundry. There we can't go back down. Southeast is nothing. East is the garden. Do we search the well? Can we get down at the well? There's only an exit. Oh no, because I think there was a teleporter in the bottom. I think that was all. Oh good, we don't die. You climb down, well, for a long distance. Near the bottom, the handholds end, so you leap the rest of the way, landing on a black circle. You're sucked into the hole in a direction that isn't down, but neither is it one of the other directions with which you're familiar. It just takes us back to the What's Up dock. That's right. that is where the barge is. We confirm that the stairs in the minaret take me to my cell. Oh, we're in the barge. There's no sense in wandering. From the garden. East, up. Oh. Stare deadens in a circle. Too dark to see a thing. Suddenly, part of the floor collapses, and you tumble through the resulting hole. Among the new rubble, you notice a black circle attached to a piece of what used to be the floor of the cramped space. Alright, and that takes us back. So there was the... But I feel like I tried this at some point and you could only use it once. Let me confirm that real quick. And that's what it was. If you do it the second time, I think you're inexplicably soft locked. Not really soft locked, just trapped. I don't get the logic of that. Oh, you climb down into your cell. I mean, I would think there would be enough light spilling up for you to, you know, I'm not going to ask questions. That's good. Now we have a quick way to get back and forth. But God, why do I feel like there's something I'm missing? Oh, use this to trap the mouse. We've got the sack. I have to find my way back to the damned mouse. Southeast. Right. The other dog. Yeah, that's the other dog. He's scared. The mouse freezes with fear. Oh. Guess we didn't need to trap it anyway. We could just grab it. We're not going to have to use that map again, are we? There's nothing eye-catching about the whole bunch of leaves. What time is it? Getting rather late. I mean, we needed the mouse, but it doesn't help us get through the beam. figuring. At this point, I'm wondering if I should look up a walkthrough or if I should call it a night. I don't know. So I think it takes me a while each week to kind of reorient myself and remember everything. But I don't know, I feel like I have this sense if I'm close to figuring it out, but I don't know why. The pterodactyl. Will it only take you to places you've been? Or will it take you to the South Pole? I don't think so. I think it only took us to a couple different places. I feel like it's not what the game intends, though. Oh, no, there. Let me try that. Another ruin. Dark. Yeah. Okay, I mean, it doesn't. It seems to be completely random. It doesn't have anything to do with whether you have the suit or you're wearing the suit. Oops. That seems to be its favorite place to take me now. Anything else that would block the beam? What about those white furs of the Martian worms? Oops. No, silks and satins and generic furs. Velvet worms. And I guess the fur is just for decoration. Let's bother the Sultan, see if he kills us. The Sultan ignores you. Kiss Sultan. Smack. I don't know if that was the sound of the kiss or if that was the Sultan smacking me, which I suppose is improvement over death. All right. Yeah. Saying that the handholds lead downwards. Climb slowly down. Now. And I just end up dropping. Oh, what can we use that sword for? I mean, I can't think it's going to help with the immediate problem. Oh, these. Oh, I guess the rake was used to rake the leaves into the sack. I wonder if we're actually going to need the rake. But that's neither here nor there. Dear Blender, oh, won't you help a first offender? Yeah. Okay. Let me try. I could try something else with the tray, but I wonder if I could use the tray and the blanket and the trellis to make a sort of shield? No, I I need something bigger, wouldn't I? I mean, see. Oh. You're not going anywhere until you get out of the royal barge. Wait. I didn't get into the royal barge. I think. Yeah. Is it going to? I mean, that would make sense, because I remember thinking that the well from the catacombs just took us back to the Sultan's dock. But what if it transports you into the barge? Then is it possible we could send the barge down the river without getting in it, climb down the well, and teleport into the barge once it's past the ion beam? Is any of this making sense? Am I just getting... No, because we were definitely inside the barge. Back at the What's Up dock. Okay, let me try this. Did I? Oops. Okay. It reopens. Now we have the quick passage to our cell. A tune from the That's My Kind of Dock. And, wait. Exit barge. Push orange button. Wait. Push purple button. Spell purple correctly. The barge slides away from the dock into the deeper waters of the canal. And we are not on it. God, you know, this could actually be it. I think this is the quickest way. still gotta get the mouse. Oh shit. Okay, so it's close, right? Yeah. So we're gonna die here, but I think if we wait longer, maybe? Yeah, because we only had to wait a few turns after ending up on the barge this time. I should have saved again. Suddenly a part of the floor collapses, and you tumble through the resulting hole into yeah, I think that's the quickest way. Purple button. I mean, yeah. I think the button says the opposite of what it is. Wait. How? Or I could be completely wrong. Hey, what the heck? Let's go grab us a mouse. Back in our cell, take the cat. Yet another ruin. Northwest. Yeah. Hey mouse, check this out. Pussycat. The mouse relaxes and begins scampering about. Hopefully, he's easy to scare again. Let's see, we don't need the map anymore. You know. Over south. And over east, right? Just trying to keep all the things I'm dropping together. I think we need, or may need. Well, we'll drop the cat painting after we get the mouse. There. There. Oh, wait, I dropped stuff that was already in the basket. That sounds like something I would do. Put headlight in basket. It's easy to rekindle fear in a mouse. Yeah. Someone's going to be very surprised if they come across our little stash of discards here in the desert, in the ruins. Okay, let's go see if my crazy theory works and the barge is at the South Pole and we can safely get there. Yeah, that's the... I'll just keep using the same route I'm used to, even if it's not the most direct. The moment of truth. We did it. Icy docks. docks in the royal barge. This is the southern terminus of the canal. Far below this dock, teleportation machinery transport massive quantities of water back to the head of the canal in the equatorial region of Mars. It's quite chilly, and the dock is covered with a sheet of ice. To the south, as far as you can see, is the bleak whiteness of the southern ice cap. I'm saving. And I'm also exhausted and have work tomorrow. Oh shit, we gotta do a couple of Zoom interviews. I think this is a good time to stop. Yeah. Well, that was slow going and a lot of me wandering around and going, what do I do? But we made it in the end. That was lucky. But I'm glad I kept going, because if I hadn't, I don't know if I would have figured it out, or it would have taken me a lot longer next time. Or I would have just ended up looking up a hint. But yeah, at this point, we only need, I think, 2 more items. I bet we're going to finish it next week. I know I'd said I might do a week of Doom 2 and come back to this, but nah, I think we should finish it. I should find someone to raid. It's very late. But to give you guys an idea of what's coming up, on Saturday we'll do something for Short Horror Saturday. And possible I'll do another horror stream before then, but not likely. And then Sunday we'll start the 5th and final Blackwell game, the Blackwell Epiphany. Ooh, I still gotta buy that on Steam. And yeah, next Wednesday, more sexy leather goddesses of Phobos. Okay. Who's online? Oh, Haggard Hessian's on. Oh, he and Dragon are doing a co-op. It's pretty late. Or we could raid. Maybe I should try and find someone else playing a text adventure. Why do I think there's not necessarily a good chance of that? Why don't we rate our friend Yaden RMP? I feel like he's usually not streaming this late, and we usually don't get to rate him. He's a professional wrestler, and he's playing Metroid Prime, which is a classic first-person shooter Metroid from the GameCube. And he doesn't have a lot of viewers. Yeah, let's go say hi to him. Even though I know that's very different from what we've been playing. Yeah. Well, thank you guys again for coming to hang out with me. I bumble my way through